staffers were let go and why? Your National Security Council. How many staffers were let go?
There were some. Always we're going to let go of people that we don't like, or people that we don't think can do the job, or people that may have loyalties to somebody else. You'll always have that.
So you mentioned Netanyahu recently. Israel has now talked about staying in Gaza, doing long-term occupation. Has anything changed in regard to the U.S. Gaza-Israel plans?
I spoke to him today, as a matter of fact, and I think he's going to be coming to our country sometime in the not-too-distant future, maybe next week. And we'll speak about Israel, and we'll speak about what's going on. That's another thing we'd like to get solved. And I think we will get it solved. But I think he very well may be coming next month. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Sir, can I follow up on your earlier comment about TikTok? You said that the Chinese might be willing to agree to approve that sale in exchange for tariff relief. Is that something that you've floated to them, or you've heard from them? Or
no, I'm just using that as an example.
Okay.
Let's say we had a problem with TikTok, and let's say China wasn't going to approve. We could use tariffs in order to get it approved.
Thank you.
The deadline is
You give them
Saturday.
something in return.
What's the update on the deal negotiations for TikTok?
We're very close to a deal with a very good group of people for TikTok.
Larry Ellison and Oracle?
Is it multiple investors?
Multiple.
And then did the last minute bids kind of throw things into disarray for you, or do you have your strategy completely locked up on who's going to...
Which last minute?
On acquiring TikTok.
No, I think that China maybe will call and say, well, we're upset with the tariffs, and maybe they want to get something a little bit in order to get TikTok approved. Who knows?
Is there plans underway to speak to Xi?
I have no knowledge of that, but that's the kind of thing.
On Israel, can you give us any update on the Palestinian relocation plan? Are we talking to any countries?
We're going to try and solve the Gaza problem. It's been a problem for many years, for many, many decades. It's been a big problem. I've met with, as you know, a lot of the hostages. It's a terrible situation. But if you notice, hostages are being released now. And that's happened only since I got involved. So we have hostages being released, quite a few, actually.
You're still committed to the relocation?
Hopefully, I'd like to get as many hostages as we can. And then Gaza is a very important thing. It's been under siege for many, many years. And it's a shame. It's a shame. A lot of people die in Gaza. Gaza's been a place we have a lot of people die. A lot of bad things happen in Gaza. We'll see what we can do about it.
The dinner tonight, can you tell us about it? Who's going to be there? Any leaders?
So dinner tonight is sort of I have a couple of them actually, but a lot of it's based around charity. It's at Doral, and we raise a lot of money for charities. We're going to also have having one of the big professional golf tournament there live, and that'll take place over the next few days at Doral from I guess tomorrow till I think they have a pro-am right now, but I'll be speaking tonight. I think I'm making a speech to the players, great players, some of the best players in the world, and ultimately, hopefully, the two tours are going to merge. That would be good. I'm involved in that too, but hopefully, we're going to get the two tours to merge. You have the PGA Tour, you have the LIV Tour, and I think having them merge would be a great thing.
Mr. President?
Yes.
About the tariffs, do you have any message for the American businesses that might feel the impact of any reciprocal tariffs coming from the EU, for example, or from other countries?
Well, I think it's going to all work out. Remember, there are no tariffs if you build your plant or you build your product, make your product in the U.S. And so a lot of people, there's going to be a transition period because they're going to be building instead of paying tariffs to some other place. But there are no tariffs. If you think there are no tariffs, all you have to do is make your product in the United States. So and a lot of people are doing that. They're moving, like the auto companies. I know I spoke to 2 of the 4 or 5 that are really active, and they've already.
Specific date?
I would think a few months.
Even when Elon leaves and goes back to being CEO, will Doge stick around in some kind of capacity?
Yeah, it'll still Doge itself. Yeah. At some point, just so you understand, I don't want to get it wrong. I want Elon to stay as long as possible. Number 1, I like him. Number 2, he's doing a great job. Number three, he is a patriot. That's why he's doing this, and he's, it's very costly for him. But so I want him to stay as long as possible. But there'll be a point where he's going to have to leave, and when he does, the secretaries will take totally over, and Doge will stay active. We have a lot of smart people. A lot of those people, I believe, are going to go into the agencies, and they'll work on it from the inside.
You mentioned auto companies that you've been speaking with. Have you spoken to any executives today?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't want to say who, but I speak to a lot of the auto executives. But we have much more than autos. We have chips coming in. We have steel coming
But
in.
did they call
The steel
asking for
factories.
exemptions?
The steel factories are opening up and expanding at levels that people have not seen. Also,
Can you tell us a little bit about your meeting with Laura Loomer and Mike Waltz today and how that came about?
So Laura Loomer is a very good patriot. She is a very strong person, and I saw her yesterday for a little while. She makes recommendations of things and people, and sometimes I listen to those recommendations, like I do with everybody. I listen to everybody, and then I make a decision. But I saw her yesterday. She was at the ceremony, and she'll always have something to say. Usually very constructive.
What did she recommend?
She recommended certain people for jobs.
Adding to the administration, not
Adding.
Who did
but
she
not
recommend?
firing.
Well, she'll recommend that too.
Who
But
did,
yesterday she recommended some people for jobs.
Did she have anything to do with the NSC aides who were ousted?
No, not at all.
Do you know how many, sir? Do you know how many from the NSC?
Not many.
Was it 5, a dozen?
I really don't know.
who does Loomer want?
There were a couple that I know.
Who did Laura recommend hiring?
Well, I don't want to say that, but she's recommended some good people over the years. She's been in the party a long time. She's done a good job.
Do you trust your national security staff is doing what you want them to do?
We've done very well. We've had big success with the Houthis, as you probably know. Nobody's been able to do it like us. And they were shooting the boats out of the water. They were sinking ships. That's what they want to do. They're getting a big charge out of sinking ships. And unfortunately, they're associated with Iran very closely. So they have to stop that. But we've hit them very hard, and we've been hitting them very hard.
Sir, did you talk to Congresswoman Luna about her resolution to give maternity? The Congresswoman about her resolution to allow proxy voting for new mothers? Did you speak to her?
I did, and I would say this. I guess there's two sides to it, right? It's a little controversial. I don't know why it's controversial. I think she's great. Anna.
Do you support her movement to have maternity proxy voting?
I think that, and I'm going to let the speaker make the decision, but I like the idea of being able to, if you're having a baby, I think you should be able to call in and vote. I'm in favor of that, but I understand some people aren't. I'm not involved in the issue, but I did. I spoke to Anna yesterday. She and some people feel strongly about it, and I would agree with them, yeah.
Sir, you mentioned Iran. They have come out and said if they're going to sit down with the U.S., they want to use an intermediary. And I believe the U.S. wanted direct talks. Would you still be willing to talk to them via an
I
intermediary?
think it's better if we have direct talks. I think it goes faster and you understand the other side a lot better than if you go through intermediaries.
Would you
They
still
want to
be
use.
open?
They wanted to use intermediaries. I don't think that's necessarily true anymore. I think they're concerned. I think they feel vulnerable, and I don't want them to feel that way. And I think they want to meet Iran. They're talking about Iran.
You said you don't think they want to use intermediaries anymore. Did they send another letter?
Yeah.
Did the UAE let you know about this?
I know for a fact. I think they'd like to have direct talks.
Can you say anything about what the letter said from Iran?
No, I just think I'm just telling you, I think they want to have, forget about letters, I think they want to have direct talks.
When can that happen?
On Pete Hegseth and this IG investigation, do you want to weigh in on that?
What is it?
There's an IG investigation into the Secretary of Defense's use of the Signal app.
Oh, is that, you're bringing that up again? Don't bring that up again. Your editors probably. That's such a wasted story. So what else?
Chinese farmland. Do you have some plans for Chinese ownership of farmland in the
We
U.S.?
look at that all the time. And look, I have a very good relationship with China and with the president, who I have a lot of respect for, President Xi. So, we look at that all the time.
Yeah.
Farmland, it's been an issue for years. People have talked about it for years. But I have a lot of respect for China, and I have a lot of respect for President Xi.
When's the last time you talked to President Xi?
I speak to him. Doesn't matter when, but I speak to him.
Have you talked to Zelensky recently?
Not too long ago, yeah.
How did that go?
Good. I think he's ready to make a deal.
No progress though, other than that?
I think a lot of progress. No, he's ready to make a deal, and I think that President Putin is ready to make a deal, and then you'll stop the killing of thousands of young people a week.
Did Kirill Dmitriev say that to his counterparts in the U.S.?
Who?
Kirill Dmitriev, the Russian negotiator that's in Washington right now?
I don't talk about specific people. I just will tell you that there's a lot of good conversation going on about Ukraine, Russia.
Sir, have you given your approval for the UK's deal over the Chagos Island that Prime Minister Starmer and you discussed?
We're talking to the Prime Minister about it, and we'll see how that turns out. We have a very good dialogue going,
Sir,
and I think he was very happy about how we treated them with tariffs.
sir, there are a lot of people who were upset about how
Who are you with?
the Daily Mail. A lot of people were upset today about how their 401ks were doing. Do you have investments? Were you looking at
I
them?
think our markets are going to boom. Got to give it a little chance, but we're taking in jobs, and we're taking in industry, and we're taking in trillions of dollars. I think our markets are going to boom. Got to give it a little bit of time, but they've already started construction on numerous plants. Soon it'll be many, many plants all over the country. They're going, and
But you both
so
been checking your
you got to
401k.
give that a little time. No, I haven't checked my 401k. Thank you very much.
Sir, one
everybody.
question on the Fed. A lot of money markets are now pricing in more Fed cuts this year.
But one thing I like is interest rates going down. You see that happening. And
The 10-year yield,
you know
they're
what's
like
beautiful
below
is
4%.
interest rates go down. I like groceries going down. I like eggs going down. If you look at it, and very importantly, the gasoline prices are going down. So a lot of good things are happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, Mr. President.
Sir.